So just let me check. Vash, can you see? Are we live?
हाँ check एक yes we are live.
All right, then I'll let them in.
Hmm.
We'll wait for a few moments for people
Yeah.
to arrive. Yeah. So in the meanwhile, I'll just send you the doc. So I'll send Akash the doc so that you can maybe take a look over it and get some things in the motion.
Okay. You can send it on Instagram or.
Yeah, I'll just send it to Akash. Akash will
Okay.
follow. Mm.
I've sent you, sir.
Yeah, I got it. Second. Unable to open this file.
No issues. I'll send you a photo, a screenshot of it.
Okay.
Just let me change that. Anyone in this? So, so check again.
One second. You think we can finish this in 1 hour?
I think we can do that.
Okay, no problem. Anyway, if it goes a little higher, I am fine with.
Yes, sir. I mean, if we cannot be, we would cut short the questions. I would take care of that.
Okay, no problem. I think for me speaking part, I think I feel it will go up to around 35 to 40.
All right.
Okay.
So it is 7 and people are joining in.
Okay.
Yeah. So just let's wait 2 more minutes, then we'll start since it's
Yeah.
all being recorded.
Sure. My throat is not that great. That's why I'm having coffee here. Okay. Pardon me for that.
All right, sir. We should get started.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, uh, our speaker for today is an aerospace engineer turned photographer. He's from Bangalore. He specializes in portraits, travel, and wedding photography. He has featured in Cambite, Chennai Weekend Clickers, Lonely Planet India, S Toppers, Best of SLRBB, Infosys, and A Tree Story by Open Wildlife Lounge. Owl and Roots of India. Besides, he enjoys photography. He also does a little bit of traveling, adventure sports, and really into fitness activities. Please welcome Mr. Arun.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me here.
Hey, sir, how are you?
Thank you, sir.
I'm doing
Good
great.
evening,
How
sir.
are you guys doing?
So, we are good. So, what's the weather like in Bangalore? It's been pretty hot in Delhi.
It's pretty cold today. I can say it's the maximum is 23 and the minimum is around 18, 19.
That is so lucky. We are almost on the verge of 40 now. In Delhi. It is really hard to live here.
Yeah.
All right, so first things first. So, where did you start your own journey? In terms
Yeah.
yeah.
So I started my photography journey from my final year of my college.
Mhm.
So I did aerospace engineering in Amrita School of Engineering, Coimbatore. So during the last days of my college, probably last 2 months of my college, I got a new phone with a 5 megapixel camera back in 2011.
Okay.
So I started with that and I just started taking pictures and started uploading it on Facebook. And people used to tell me, okay, your pictures are good. So it went on for 2, 3 months until I joined my office in Infosys.
Mhm.
Then I couldn't continue photography because I was into training for 6 months, and uh, when there was no way I could carry forward photography. And eventually, I found out that there is a forum called SLRBB in Infosys.
Mhm.
So which they're used to, you can post your pictures, get comments from senior members, get learn from them. Oh, then I realized that okay, this is probably something that's going to help me out, and I joined that forum, started posting my pictures, and it went on from there.
Oh, that is so amazing. Also, we are also a budding engineering college, and I'm also in almost in my fourth year, and I started like this even. So it's really inspirational that to me that there is a future in it. So it is really inspirational.
Thank you. Good to hear.
So how was your journey as a photographer? What ups and downs did you face?
Yeah. So I'll start with the beginning. So when I started photography, I thought, okay, I'm doing very good in my first year of my photography. And in SLRBB, I could find a lot of senior members who used to post a lot of amazing pictures back in 2012.
Mhm.
So I started posting my phone pictures into SLRBB, and they said, okay, you are not doing that great. You're just posting for the sake of posting. You're just posting some random pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it happened, and I realized, okay, I should get maybe I should get a camera. If I should get a DSLR, probably I can also shoot very good pictures. I took me some 6 months to keep some money and find get a DSLR, which was Canon 550D,
Mhm.
and I bought it. I realized, okay, now I can do. I'll show who I am. So that thing came out of me, and I started posting my pictures. Within 1 week or 2 weeks, I realized, okay, it's not the camera. It's the person who shoots really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started posting my pictures there, and people said, okay, if you wanted to use an auto mode, why did you buy a DSLR at first place? Yeah. So that was the first. Within 1 month, I realized. So it took me 1 month to change from using the screen to the viewfinder. So previously, I used to shoot with all with the screen, LCD screen, and use manual focus. So it took me some 2 months, 3 months to shift into manual autofocus as well.
Mhm.
Initially, it was difficult for me because yeah, there is not much of autofocus points like on
Yeah.
the phones, or like there used to be hardly nine autofocus points, I think,
Mhm.
9 or 11 autofocus points. So you cannot always get a focus on the subject.
Yeah.
So, and Yeah, it went on, and eventually, there was something called as weekly challenges. So we could take pictures and post our pictures in that forum. There should be some theme. Like this week, themes will be shadows. Next week theme will be portraits.
Mhm.
So there used to be different themes. So how those themes were selected was like, if you are a previous winner, you can announce the next theme.
Oh.
Yeah, so that is the thing. Because if I win, okay, I like portraits, so I'll announce the next theme as a portraits, and I can choose the next winner. Yeah,
Oh.
so that went on, and I started posting my pictures there, and I could never make it to a winner or a runner-up for almost 1 year. But I didn't give up. I was a bit regular too. I was at least taking part in like two weekly challenges in a month, because not all weekly challenges I was interested in, but some of them were really interesting for me. I started taking part, and in 2013, we organized a photography workshop.
Mhm.
So there, some senior members came and spoke, and I attended that workshop as well as I was part of the organizing, and I could learn a lot of stuff from senior members there. So that really helped me out. And next week, I could win the weekly challenge. So that was something very good for me. Okay, I realized, okay, photography is there is something in me which I can continue. Then I started taking up photography as a uh, bit more serious thing. And I got my first paid shoot in 2013 sometime. 13 or yeah, end of 2013.
Yeah.
It was a shoot for a like it was a recce shoot for a film company.
Hmm.
So I had to go in some remote place near a forest and take some pictures and share it with them. So they had paid me, I think, around 4,500 for that time.
All right.
It was really good because it was very close for us, and we just had to go on bikes for like around 50 kilometers. So it was fun for us. Okay, just go and take some random pictures, and
Yeah.
we didn't have to put any effort. And yeah, so and it went on, and eventually in 2014, I started taking up wedding photography
Hmm.
because one of my friend who was a senior member here, he said, "Okay, Arun, why don't you try weddings?" I said, "I want to try. I'm very happy to shoot." So I started taking up wedding photography, and I went as a traditional photographer for shooting the group pictures with him initially.
Hmm.
I mean, I could take some good pictures. Then in the next wedding, I upgraded my camera into a 5D Mark III and 7200.
Oh.
So I took a loan and took up all these camera and gear.
Hmm.
And my second and third weddings were really bad. Like not bad for me, but the client said, "Okay, your pictures are not up to the mark." Yeah. So you know that feeling, you have the world's best camera in your hand and you go take pictures and the client says, "Okay, you are just taking average pictures." So that feeling came to me. I realized, okay, I screwed up big time, and they didn't pay me fully. Like they paid me, I think, around 60% of what agreed.
Okay.
Then I realized whenever you shoot with someone, you have to have a contract or like a written agreement, at least
Mhm.
on WhatsApp or at least on email. So I made it a habit of doing things on email. I send an email saying that this is what we have spoken and this is what we agreed. Okay, if there is any change, you can always go and refer the email later. So
Yeah.
that helped me out a lot. And I started taking up wedding photography seriously again.
Mhm.
I didn't give up. I realized, okay, I have to do it because I had to pay the loan. I had to pay
Yeah.
the loan of 3.5 lakhs. So I have to ensure at least I'm getting at least one paid shoot in a month.
Yeah.
So I started doing up, and weddings came to me from here and there. I started shooting baby shoots,
Hmm.
birthday shoots. I did almost every possible paid shoots at that time, maternity shoots. And I realized I enjoy portraits a lot, shooting portraits of people a lot,
Hmm.
and I enjoy shooting uh, travel pictures because travel and landscapes used to be a little bit not that much famous back then, like right now.
Yeah.
So and it went on from there, and 2015, 2016 was pretty good.
Hmm.
2015, I realized I had come, had realized that um, I have to do a little more better with my pictures in terms of portraits. So I
Hmm.
started learning something called a skin retouching,
Oh.
which will change the game. So
Hmm.
I started doing that, but I realized I was doing things wrong. And one of my friends said me, like I used to follow a person called Danny Diamond,
Mm-hmm.
uh, who is a very famous portrait photographer. So I used to follow his tutorials. So, and one of my friends came and said me that you and Danny Diamond use the same camera, almost same camera. He is using Nikon, you are using Canon.
Yeah.
And what makes your pictures different? Like, you are having almost the same camera, world's most expensive gear, and you are not able to make pictures like him. Then I realized it's not the camera, it's me. So I had to change my photography game. So I had to realize how the use of lighting, a natural light, and probably using of reflector and uh, skin retouching, how important that plays a
Mm-hmm.
role in photography. Not skin retouching as such, it's more like processing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I realized that, and I started getting active on Instagram. So I think at that time was Instagram was getting famous, and it was going pretty good initially. Then eventually, in my office, I realized I don't like this work anymore. I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to sit at one place and do the same thing over and over and again.
Yeah.
I never enjoy being at a desk, so I have to travel. I didn't want to do whatever everyone around me was doing. I just wanted to travel, do something better with my life. I felt,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, eventually I quit my job in 2017 end. Like I left my office in 2018 beginning, and I shifted back to Bangalore. So I was in Mysore initially, so then I shifted to Bangalore uh, just to continue photography and traveling. And I've been privileged to travel around 13 countries so far since I quit my job. And
Mm-hmm.
I started wedding photography as a freelancer.
Yeah.
And I worked with a few brands like Kingfisher, Realme, Oppo, OnePlus,
Yeah.
and a few of my pictures got featured in Sony as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going on and off. It's never been always an up journey. Like not some days has been pretty tough. COVID hit and everything was going smooth last year, and COVID hit. So I was out of income for 8 months,
Mm-hmm.
and things started getting better. And the second wave of lockdown has happened here. So now we are here interacting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I skipped a lot of points because it's gonna be a long story. I don't want to bore you guys. If you guys have questions, I think I can answer a little more better than me telling the stories.
All right, sir. We'll definitely get to that.
Yeah.
All right, sir. In the topic of like commercial photography versus your passion projects, do
Yeah.
you really think that commercial photography sort of takes away from the soul of photography, or is it like a necessary evil, or it is the same as passion photography?
Okay. So when I quit my job, the only thing I realized was how much money I want to make from photography. I decided that.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down my expenses. uh, I realized, okay, if I take up two shoots in a month,
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 days of shoot in a month,
Mm-hmm.
I can happily live. Like I can pay my rent, I can pay my bills, I can pay my loan, I can save some money extra, and I can just happily live. So that was my only goal. I never wanted to take photography as a business
Mm-hmm.
because I realized I don't want to make a lot of money out of it. Because I enjoy doing it. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
So there are times when we are forced to take up projects just because we are not having any work.
Yeah.
At times it happens but it's always very important to know when to say no. Like there are some brands which approach for they do negotiate the pricing. They do maybe they ask for like 20% or 30% of the what pricing we charge.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it happens. So it's up to us to say no. I
Yeah.
generally don't take up work which either it should make me some good content or it should pay me good. So these are the two terms which I always keep it. Either you pay me good or you make me happy. So yeah. So like you said, it's not always you get to choose, but if you get an option,
Mm-hmm.
try to do good work with good people rather than making a lot of money. That's the reason which I'm still doing photography.
All right, so I think you have find the solution to life and a good life.
Yeah.
All right, sir. So, do you have a preferred brand, or you are still using Canon, or have you ever tried Leica or something?
Yeah, so I started with Canon initially. I had a Canon 550D and a 50 lens.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had like a 8 fisheye lens. Then I had like 85 lens. Then I had 135 lens, 70-200. Almost every Canon lenses, whatever possible was there, was with me.
Yeah.
So then I shifted to, I mean, I had a 5D Mark III as well initially. Then 2018, I realized Canon has something which I was not, I want, Canon lacked something which I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It was not always great with focus, and it was not always great with color tones, especially
Yeah.
for portraits and landscapes.
Mm-hmm.
And so that mattered to me. And it is not great with low light, especially Canon is
Mm-hmm.
not great above 1600 ISO.
Yeah.
So I shifted to Sony in 2018, and I've been pretty happy with Sony, whatever I have right now. I think, but these days, Canon, Nikon, or Sony doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Fujifilm. I suggest, in fact, I suggest Fujifilm to a lot of people, which personally I have used only once in my life because
It's
it's,
such a great camera.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So for me, I use Sony personally. I like it. I'm very happy with it. If there is something better that comes up, maybe I'll shift to it. But I don't. I personally, I right now, I don't. I don't really. I'm not even thinking to shift my camera brand because it gives me whatever I want.
Uh, and plus,
Yeah,
they also build like kind of this ecosystem that you have to stay in it, and then it's pretty.
yeah. Yeah, see, there are certain things which Sony also can improve.
Yeah.
Like it's not a best camera for me because I find it a little difficult to use after half an hour of holding my hand screen because it's not a very ergonomic camera right in the market. But they have improved it. They're keeping on doing it.
I've been also using Sony A6400 for the past 1.5 year. It's been good for short periods of
Yeah,
time, but
yeah.
not a long period. All right. Uh, so this is like a question which I'm really interested. So as an engineer, do you view photography as a science or more of an art form?
It's an art form, definitely. Science is just to help you to create art. So you can there is a you can make good photos. I mean, see, in the end, it matters is like how good it connects to an audience. It's not like you take a okay, my lighting is good, my background is good, my this thing is good, everything is good. It doesn't really matter. End of the day, if probably if you have seen any of my Tayyam pictures,
Hmm.
the essence that connects to you is the emotion.
Yeah,
So if that is not there, a perfectly exposed picture without any emotion to it is not a it's nothing great.
yeah,
So it's science. It's more of science, but more than science. It's the art that keeps
exactly.
makes it a happening thing for me.
All right. A lot of people, including me, just got lost in the science of it. Maybe this should be the exposure, this should be the shutter speed, and this ratios and everything, and how to frame and everything, and we
Okay.
lost the whole process.
Yeah. So initially, when I begin as well, I was always okay. We should do use rule of thirds always. We
Yeah,
should uh, we should keep the histogram like this. We should keep the aperture always like this. But it doesn't really matter. End of the day, your picture is good. That really matters because if somebody is happy with seeing your picture, I think that matters more than whatever settings you use. Nobody cares what settings you use.
all right. Makes sense. Actually, it took me a lot of time. So, also, I want to follow up on this. How much do you think perspective is important in photography?
Uh, it's really important because at times, see, when you start shooting, you can very good. I'll give you an example. If you go to Taj Mahal,
Hmm.
everybody has taken the shot of Taj Mahal from front. If you've ever been to Taj Mahal or India Gate,
Hmm.
almost every one of you would have taken that shot.
Yeah.
But if you go, so what makes it different? I mean, everybody wants to take the Taj Mahal picture from the front, but more than that, like, what makes your signature? Uh,
Hmm.
Probably you can find some different frames. You
Yeah.
can find like a million photos of Taj Mahal differently.
Hmm.
Just go on Instagram and search for Taj Mahal hashtag. You'll find like a different compositions.
Yeah.
So, more than perspective, I can say compositions really matter. Like I can say, I mean, perspective is one term of one part of
Yeah.
compositions. I'll
Yeah.
give it a wider term as a composition. How good you are composing. I mean, what is the vision you see?
Yeah.
I think that really matters.
Definitely, sir. Sir, on a view of compositions, who really inspires you to click photos? Which photographer's composition did really touch your heart?
I can't I can't really name one person because it keeps changing.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are a lot of people who I get inspired from.
Mm-hmm.
There was one time I used to get a lot of inspiration from Danny Diamond. Then
Yeah.
it eventually changed to someone called as Michael Sheinblum.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of Indian photographers as well. There are like probably I can say I follow the people who either inspire me or who I connect with. So most of the photographers who I follow on Instagram inspire me.
That's very important. Somebody said, I don't remember, you have to take responsibility of who you follow. And
Definitely, definitely. Whatever you see, whatever you are a product of whatever you consume.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it is important. All right. So, what is your favorite place to shoot?
I don't have a favorite place to shoot as such as of now.
Hmm.
Uh, but I've been to Iceland, so it has been amazing for to shoot over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, night skies, and there are a million possibilities you can take a picture from. So, and the weather and the lighting and the color and everything is every moment it's different. Every half an hour or every 5 minutes it keeps on changing. So I'm a big fan of Iceland for photography. And I recently been to Turkey,
Mhm.
but I didn't shoot much there. But I think that country has a lot of opportunities for photographs.
So, building on that, where is the one place that you would like to go to photograph?
I can't name one place. I have a million places in my list. So probably in India, as of now, I would want to go to Rann of Kutch, which I could never been to, and probably Andamans,
Ah,
and I have marked for a few spots in Myanmar, a bit of Bhutan, and a bit of Croatia, and Norway is one of the most. Norway, I planned to go to Norway last year,
yeah.
which did not happen, and maybe in Kazakhstan as well. I mean, there are like plenty of places, so it's very tough to pick up anything. But maybe if I get a chance, I'll immediately go to Norway.
It's just the same for me. I would definitely love to go to Norway.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, what are the things that you like besides photography? For the people who have joined us new, could you tell us? And what is the favorite one?
I like reading books of late.
Yeah.
Uh, I never done it in my life for until I was 24, 25. I think until I was 26, I never read a book in my life. So yeah, so I like reading books because not always people can help you, or not always inspirational videos can help you.
Yeah.
But if you read books, you get to learn a lot of stories. Uh, you get to experience. Probably you can experience to the centuries, or maybe future, or like past or present, whatever you can experience.
Yeah.
So reading books is something which I love to, but these days I'm finding it a little difficult.
Mhm.
Uh, and I used to watch a lot of movies in theaters, not a laptop person. Never I could sit for more than 1 hour. So I enjoy watching movies in theaters because it keeps me a little more active, and I love going out to eat food.
Yeah.
So yeah. So food is always yes, and I'm a big time chai person.
Uh, all
Yeah.
right. Also, for the people who are new, could you also tell us what are the favorite genres that you like to, work in photography?
So initially it was portraits, but right now I'd want to shoot more of nightscapes,
Nice.
bit of astrophotography,
Hmm.
and bit of. I recently I found that drone is a good perspective. Drone gives a very different perspective. So I want to maybe going down the lane, I'll get a drone for myself and start shooting with the same. So these are something which I really want to try out.
That would be amazing. All right. So, okay, a personal question from me: have you ever shot film? like as an analog
Yes,
camera?
yes. I have a film shot, a film which is a film camera here, and I shot. It took me 3 years to finish this,
One
so it's
roll.
still there. Yeah. So I never wanted to shoot it like just in one day. If I go shoot in a wedding, I shoot like around 3,000 pictures in a day minimum. Just like 6 hours, if you let me shoot, shoot 3,000 pictures. But in 3 years, I shot 36 pictures in one film. I never wanted to make it like I just want to click and burst. So I wanted to make it a little more personal for me. So I have shot a lot of people with it,
Mhm.
people who have become pretty close to me. So I have shot their pictures. I'm yet to watch the film.
Mm.
Probably once the lockdown ends, I'll go and watch the film and experience that.
I've also done that this year. I mean, we have been in digital era so long that we just click all the pictures. When I first time hold the Canon DSLR, the camera that I use, and when I took a picture and just rewinded the whole film and then took another one, it was just such a great experience to just stand back, look at the scene, and just find the best composition. It just really changed how I photograph things.
Yes, it'll make you it'll make you look better. Like probably you will see more things than that you see in your phone or on your camera.
Exactly. And also, have you gone into the development process of the film? Like, have you developed your?
Not yet. Once the lockdown is getting over, I hope I'll get a chance for that.
I did that, and it was also a great process in itself. Like we made all of the chemicals, then I just used all of the developer to, and then it is a multi-day process, but it's so fun. I
Okay,
really recommend.
I look for that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So let us get back to the commercial questions, right? So again, you told me how big was your first paycheck. Could you tell me how did you get your first paycheck? How did you contact the company, or how did you get your first shoot?
Uh, I think my first contact, yeah, it came through Facebook.
Oh.
So someone connected me to someone on Facebook,
Hmm.
and I forgot his name. He was a singer. He was a part of a small band.
Hmm.
I think he contacted me from Pune,
Hmm.
and this guy was a he contacted and he connected and said me that he is a part of film production crew. So
Okay.
they were looking to produce some film, and they wanted a recce shot. They said, okay, you can go to these places and get some connect with this guy and get some pictures for us. I said,
Mhm.
okay, I can do that. They said, okay, we'll pay you around 4,500 for that. So this was back in 2013, which was a pretty good amount of money. So that was my first project, and after that, wedding started in 2013 or 14. So I could second my project. I think I got paid around 6,000 or something.
Yeah.
I'm not able to recollect correctly. So somewhere around that.
All right. So how I'm like a rookie, and I also want to start out in photography. I mean, I want to make it more commercially viable. So how does a rookie like me venture into paid work like right now in this scenario?
In this scenario, maybe post lockdown, start shooting. Figure out what you like. First thing,
Mm-hmm.
shoot everything. If you are a beginner, you have the freedom to shoot everything
Hmm.
and find out what you like to shoot.
Yeah.
Probably you might like to shoot inside a studio, or you might like to shoot weddings,
Hmm.
or you might like to shoot people, or you might like to shoot wild animals.
Yeah.
Figure out what is your like, what gives you the maximum happiness.
Yeah.
So build a portfolio around it,
Hmm.
create some stunning images. Like it might take 1 month, it might take 3 months, it might take a year. So
Hmm.
get a portfolio of at least 20 to 25 images.
Hmm.
So Instagram can be a good portfolio for you.
Yeah.
Create only those kind of images. Do not put up like street your personal images. Don't put that.
All right.
Put only what you like, what you want to get work from. Create
Hmm.
a portfolio from there, and once your work is really good,
Hmm.
uh, start connecting with people.
Yeah.
Like even when your work is not good, you can connect with people. But
Hmm.
if your work is really good, and if you start connecting with people,
Yeah.
definitely it's gonna help you out. So I don't have an exact answer for this, but if you are on Clubhouse,
Hmm.
Nowadays, a lot of people are connecting to each other on Clubhouse. Like you
Yeah.
find a lot of work on Clubhouse. So
Oh.
you can connect with brands, you can connect with people, media houses. Everything happens there right now. So even LinkedIn is a good platform. So your network really matters. Who are you connecting with,
Yeah.
rather than how good your pictures are, how good your best, I mean, how good your selling skills are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, um, for a person like me, I'm more interested in non-commercial photography, like street photography, for example. How
Yeah.
can I venture into getting some money?
Getting paid into street photography is a very difficult thing,
Hmm.
because even the most experienced guys, whom I heard from, they don't really make money out of street photography. They do it because they enjoy it. There are like probably very less street photographers in India who make money out of it.
Yeah.
But there are magazines which you can take pictures for. But again, I'm not sure how great is a as a commercial thing.
Yeah.
Street photography is more of a like a personal thing. Okay, I want to shoot the street,
Yeah.
so you can send it for awards and functions, awards and exhibitions.
Mhm.
Definitely, it's gonna connect. But as a this thing, I'm not sure how commercial it can be.
All right. Also, circling back to the same question, does gear matter for a beginner? Uh,
Yeah, initially I thought like gear really matters for a beginner,
mhm.
because when you get an 85 mm 1.4 or 1.8, you realize okay, your portraits are better than your phone pictures.
Yeah.
So initially that you get a feeling like that, but see, it matters if you are shooting specific genres of photography. So if
Mm.
you're shooting general kind of photography, like random pictures or street pictures, your gear doesn't really matter.
Mm.
Uh, but if you are shooting a portrait, probably I mean, even then gear doesn't really matter. But if you are shooting wildlife or if you're shooting astrophotography,
Mm.
gear matters. Gear does really matter.
Yeah.
At least in terms of low light, gear matters.
All right. And how much does your gear matter to you?
For me, like I already told, it has to work really well with the colors. It
Hmm.
has to give me good autofocus. It's not screw me up in necessary conditions, and it has to be reliable, and it has to have a good night performance. So all these things really work with me for Sony.
Yeah.
So I stick to that. I have used other brands as well, but I think I'm happy with this. I don't really want to. I don't find a reason to shift.
Makes sense. So, what Sony camera are you using right now?
I'm using a Sony A7 III and three lenses, 1635 2.8,
Hmm.
85 1.4, and 35 1.4.
Those are beautiful lenses.
But given a choice, I would want to shift from 85 1.4 because it's too heavy.
Uh,
Unnecessarily heavy and bulk.
mhm.
Probably I would want to shift to an 85 1.8 lens
Oh,
because it doesn't really make much difference unless and until you're shooting in daylight.
yeah. I mean, also the sensor is bigger, so it doesn't matter. I mean, APS.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a full frame sensor, so it doesn't really make much difference.
Yeah, yeah. So, let's talk about interns. Would you ever employ one?
For my kind of work, I would never need an intern because I'm more of a freelance kind of worker. I don't run a business.
All right.
So I would never need an intern unless and until I plan to start this as a little more commercial thing.
Mm-hmm.
At times I call people to assist me in
Mm-hmm.
shoots because I know how they work and how good they can help me,
Yeah.
and I get to teach them as well as probably help them with their photography as well. So at times I call people who I already know or who attended my workshop because I can easily work with them or coordinate with them.
Makes sense, sir.
Yeah,
So, what quality would you look in a future intern, or what quality would you look in a person that assists you?
he should be really positive, like should have a good vibe,
Mm-hmm.
rather than how good he is or like what his status or whatever it is. So he should be a good person to work with.
Yeah.
Like if I tell him, okay, I want light like this,
Mm-hmm.
I want light here, he should be able to do it. Like I'm not expecting him to be like have this thing. But if I say, okay, I want to get a lighting here, okay, he will be ready to. He should be already done it. Like,
Yeah.
someone who is a little proactive and someone who is very happy to work with, not uh, like I don't want someone who is like having a lot of knowledge,
Hmm.
probably someone who is like ready to work with, who is
Yeah.
willing to do it.
That is nice. All right. So, what is the mindset one should keep when we are starting out?
Shoot for happiness, I would say, but find out a balance. If you are making this a career, it's going forward, it's a little tricky career because everybody is a photographer these days, and everyone who has an iPhone or like OnePlus 9 Pro or like a good camera phone is a good photographer. So there is a lot of competition in this field,
Hmm.
and there has been a lot of content because if you see Instagram itself, it's just a photo. I mean, it's like you consume a lot of content every day.
Yeah.
So the audience is not really liking. Probably if you see 5 years back, the pictures you liked in 5 years back, and right now it would be like way different.
Mm.
Yeah. So the lot of content is being generated. So it's a very saturated field, I can say.
Yeah.
Uh, your competitiveness really matters, and your network really matters if you want to work. So that is the thing.
So, how does one leave, this rat race? People are running about likes. They are just posting different kind of photos that they know are really popular with particular hashtags. How
See, it would make you temporarily happy for sure, seeing good likes on your photographs.
mm-hmm.
Instagram has a like hiding feature right now. If you start doing that, you will be more content centric than like centric. I feel that is going to really help a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Being said that, if you want to work with brands, your reach really matters. Your
Mm.
reach matters, and how good your work also matters for some brands.
Yeah.
So that is a thing. And likes does not feed you. Definitely, like is not going to feed you.
Mm.
Like does not pay you. Your whatever your number of followers or whatever doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like the work you do really matters.
Makes sense, sir. So, how do we develop our own unique style of photography? This is a question that I've been also struggling with.
Okay, but like I already said, start shooting every day.
Mm.
Uh, Start shooting such a way that you are not able to do anything anymore. Like I don't have anything to shoot today. Like I don't know what to shoot today.
Yeah.
There will be a condition at that time,
Hmm.
but probably when you start doing that, you start practicing. Like take up a 365 days challenge,
Yeah.
or take up a 52-week challenge,
Mm.
and once you start doing that, you will figure out what is your taste, what do you like the most, and find out your niche. It comes with practice. So start shooting every day if you can, and start posting. It doesn't really matter your pictures are good or not, but if you start doing it for like 365 days, definitely after 200 days, your pictures are going to look way better. Start learning. So learning is the key. Every day, there's no stopping for learning
Yeah.
in any aspect, like in art or anything. So if you are able to learn every day, it's going to definitely help you out. Start reading articles, start practicing. That is the thing I can say.
Mm.
And find out a thing which you like, which you think you are better at, and which gives you happiness, and stick to it. I think that's going to take you forward.
Yeah. Also, I think it was really hard for me personally to first understand what makes a good photo, because Dunning-Kruger effect. I thought I knew a lot, and then I just look at photos and be like, yeah, this is really easy to recreate. I look at Steve McCurry and Street Photo International or WordPress photos, and it was like I thought it was really easy to create. Now that I know better, it's so hard. It's like I wonder how people can take it. So it's also one thing that I think a lot of people do struggle with. What are your thoughts?
Uh, yeah, so I can say that it's not the click of button. It's more a lot of stories happening behind.
Yeah.
How good you are able to get an emotion, or like how good you are at storytelling, or how good you are at the aesthetics.
Hmm.
So I can say everything is combined make this art.
Yeah. All right, sir. So let's move on to skill development. So how can we develop our skills during this lockdown? I mean, we cannot go out right now. So is there anything that we can do?
Of course, the challenging part here is like you are limited in your space.
Mm,
For me, I'm never a photographer who can shoot inside this space. I mean, I can shoot definitely,
mm,
but I don't I have I for me I feel very difficult to create inside my house.
mm,
I have to go out. I have to find something in nature to get photos.
mm,
But the challenge is like create like a take up like a 30-day challenge because the
mm.
lockdown is gonna be another I think 25 days or like 15
Yeah,
days. Yeah. So take up a 15-day or 30-day challenge.
yeah. Mm,
Uh, find out you can just Google for 30 days challenge. You'll get a lot of themes.
mhm,
Find out 30 themes. Like one day it will be shadows, one day it will be portrait, one day it will be self-portrait, one day it will be yellow color, one day it will be food, one day it will be like something, some other thing. Find out 30 different themes, and shoot on and find out Google for photos or inspirations.
yeah.
But never try to copy it. Bring your own touch to it. Always like get inspired, but whatever you create would be like a copy of everything what you have seen.
Mhm.
You see a lot of things. Okay, I have seen this thing here. I can have seen this thing here. I have seen this thing here.
Yeah.
I can combine everything and make my own piece out of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So start shooting. Take up a challenge because I know it's hard. For me, it's very hard personally to stick inside my house and shoot. I
Yeah.
find it very difficult, but still I'm able to create content.
Mhm.
I'm creating a content for a phone brand right now. So
Mhm.
I have made like around 10 to 15 pictures, of which I think I'll be uploading 2 or 3 pictures. So yeah, you can always do it if you have the will.
All right, sir. I'll be on the lookout for those. Uh,
Sorry?
I'll be on the lookout for those pictures.
Yeah.
I want to see how you do that. Uh, well, also, people also say that you need to study light. You need to study light, understand light. How can we do that? It's such an abstract concept.
Yeah. So it's see, understanding light is pretty simple.
Mm,
Uh, for me, I see the other way. If you understand what there is not light,
mm,
never start shooting in like full light conditions. Start
mm,
shooting in darkness.
mm,
Start shooting in darkness. Add light. Add light and figure out what adding a light source makes a difference.
mhm.
So if you shoot in darkness, you see everything is black.
Yeah.
You don't have light. But if when you start adding small sources of light like a torch or like a phone torch, you will figure out where the light is falling, which direction light is coming from,
Yeah.
where the shadow is going, and what color it gives the light. And if you add one more light here, if you add one more light behind, if you want add one more light on top or bottom, what
Yeah.
difference it makes. So probably that is one thing which I think is going to help you out a lot.
Mhm.
Understanding lights and shadows. So if you understand darkness, if you are able to figure out cut darkness, because
Mhm.
if you when you start shooting in natural light, what you see is like okay, everywhere there is light. I
Mhm.
don't know what to do. I mean, everywhere there is light, and I don't understand this. So uh, if you understand the direction of light, if you understand the shadows, if you can read the shadows,
Yeah.
if you can read the darkness, probably that is going to change your game.
That is really good. I'll do that.
Try out.
Mhm. So, I mean, starting out as a photographer can be, pretty intimidating. I mean, especially to find work and everything. So, what thing would you suggest new photographers who are starting out commercially that they should stick to this one particular thing?
And like I already said, figure out what you want to do.
Hmm.
There are people who love to shoot food photography, but if you want to be a good food photographer, you have to realize how that food is made. What
Mm,
are the ingredients?
mm,
Uh, what how is the food is made? Rather than like you have to have love for food.
mhm.
So figure out that if you want to be a wildlife photographer, you have to travel to national parks,
Yeah.
probably for like at least 100 safaris. So before you start making it commercial.
Mm,
So I know people who have done it. People who are like 24 or 25 and 25 or 26, who has done 300 safaris in India,
mm.
and he takes up people throughout India for wildlife safaris. So there are people who do it, who does it.
Mhm.
Uh, just figure out what you like, practice it. I think that is what the answer is.
Yeah. All right, sir. Thank you. Those are all of my questions. So let
Thank you
us
so much.
ask some people in the chat and in the meet. So you
Sure,
guys,
sure.
Akash, can you just tell us what are the questions in the chat? Then we'll take up the questions in the meet.
Yeah, sure. I guess you all can write in the chat books if you have any questions.
All right. So we should start with the meat one, I guess. Anybody have any questions, or did I cover everything? I know I'm smart, but not that smart.
No, though I do have a question though.
Hmm.
Yeah.
During this lockdown time, sir, I was bound in the space, so I started out with product photography a little bit. So I just for a beginner, I just started it for the first time. So I what I did was I add some lightning, as you said. So I just wanted to know that what are those mini, small, macro things that we can do to just enhance our photography. Like what I did was I added a normal white light and a green light.
Okay.
What are those like mini things? Because I can see in my photo that I was lacking something, and was something lacking in the photo.
Okay. So the challenge of a photographer, of a product photographer, is making a top-down image, a flat lay image, probably making it look 3D.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you have to play with your lighting. You have
Mhm.
to play with your textures. You have to play with the subjects which you're using. If you use a glass or if you use a plastic, it may not look that appealing. You have to use items that are aesthetically looking good, and you have to use directional lighting, which gives directional shadows.
Mhm.
Probably you have to use soft light.
Yeah.
Probably you also use the right colors,
Mhm.
because a product photography, the challenge is like making colors pop. You can increase the saturation, but doesn't really help. It has to have that color contrast.
Yes, sir. Sure,
Yeah.
I'll try that because
So make a note of this point: textures, colors, patterns. So these things really going to help your product photography game.
no, that is. Now we have another question in the chat that says if there was a topic named geometry, what would be your perspective on it, and what would you like to shoot in that?
So yeah, I'm a big fan of lines and curves,
Hmm.
because if you see photography, if you started with photography, you know the rule of thirds.
Yes, sir.
So rule of thirds was started from this Fibonacci spiral, if you're aware of it.
Hmm.
So I'm a big fan of curves, spirals, and lines. So if you see my pictures, if you ever followed me on Instagram, everything, I'm a big fan of straight lines to be in straight, or like vertical lines to be in vertical, or horizontal lines to be in horizontal. So I try to ensure that. So geometry is something which can create a photograph, because if you go and shoot in front of Taj Mahal, there is a small puddle of water in front, and there are two poles, and the puddle of water leads towards the Taj Mahal, which makes imaginary leading lines. So geometry is something which is very important to me, but to answer the question, I'm not sure what exactly. I'm not sure if I have answered your question correctly. Uh, Lines, curves, faces, patterns, uh, number of persons in the picture, all
Hmm.
these things really matter. Colors, I mean everything. Like whatever you have in your frame, you have to make use of it. Like you have to make use of it to enhance your picture. That's what I feel.
Yes, sir. Obviously, like even though curves and the straight lines. The geometry is like I have seen some of her photos and some other photographers' photos as well. But the symmetry in those photos, they really appeal to the eye. Like they feel nice to see. Those photos which are somewhat symmetric in nature.
Yes, see, human eye is like symmetry. Symmetry, we find symmetry as a beautiful thing.
Yes.
And we find if there are two people in a picture, uh, uh, imagine three people in a picture, three
Mm.
versus two. What would be more aesthetically pleasing is three people in a picture, because our eyes see as a as a like different visions.
Mhm.
And for the same reason, we don't want like two different people, and you cannot look at two people in a picture. So if there are three people in a picture, you look at the center person. High chance that you look at the center person. That's a rule called rule of odds. So there are like symmetry, patterns, geometry, everything makes a photograph.
Absolutely. Now we have another question that how to deal with your clients as a beginner.
Like I already said, if you always discuss with the client, get get into writing. Like if you are talking on call, high chance that if you agree with them for 10,000 rupees, client will come and say after the shoot once you deliver, they'll say that okay, you told me you want 5,000 rupees. So that happens with many clients. So always get in writing, like in an
Mhm.
email or like or at least on WhatsApp chat. So if you have had a call with anyone, any client or something, okay. So this is what we discussed. So this is what I'm going to work. This is the timing from this time to this time I'll be shooting. These are the number of pictures which I'll be delivering, and this is the editing, and this is the thing. And so this is the payment. 50% payment has to be done before the shoot. 50% payment has to be done after the shoot, or like once you deliver. So you have to write down all these terms and conditions. Once you write down this as a message and send it to them, and if they approve it, definitely you are good to go. I think this is one lesson which helped me a lot.
Yes, sir. Now we have another question is what type of editing software do you use?
I use Adobe Photoshop the majority for my pictures, and Snapseed very rarely these days, and Lightroom on my phone.
Okay, sir. And how do you find new composition, especially when you are visiting a new place?
So that is a little tricky question. So you have to know. I see when I went to Taj Mahal, we shot the same picture everybody did,
Mm.
and probably at that time, what lens you have, or probably wide angle lens or a tele lens, you will have to figure out your frames. Probably keep something in the foreground, keep something set. Never make Taj Mahal as your subject. Make Taj Mahal as your background, and find something interesting in your foreground. I think that tells the story, because if there's a person standing there, if there's a couple or like if a beautiful model in sari standing in front of Taj Mahal, I think that gives a better connection. So always try to figure out something what different you can make out of it. So it's a little tricky question, but for me, I try to put human element in a picture, because that is what gives a little bit better connection to the landscape, I feel.
Yes, sir.
I hope I have answered your question. If not, please elaborate the question again. Okay.
And we have another question is like, what do you think about editing a photo? As
Uh,
we seen on Insta and YouTube, people changes the photo to something else. Do you think it's a part of photography or else?
See, whatever you see is like, see, you are doing a painting. Nobody is gonna ask you what or why did you use this color, or like. The end of the day, it is your personal choice. There is nothing wrong in editing your pictures, but for me, as a personal choice, I would prefer to have the skin colors as natural as possible, and the lighting to be naturally looking. Even if it's edited, nobody should feel that okay, this picture is edited.
Mhm.
Uh, it should give a natural feeling to it. That is my style of photography. You can stick to or probably blue color tones or cool shades or like warm tones. There's nothing wrong in it. It's up to each person. And there is someone, if someone says your pictures are bad because of your rating, because they don't find it aesthetically pleasing. Doesn't never bother that. Find out your style, and there's no limits to art. You can create the way you like it.
So I had a question that sometimes when I visit a place and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like go with the intention to shoot there, that I'll shoot this monument or I'll shoot this place. So what I tend to do is I just go to Instagram or any other Google, and I look up look at the images of the same place which other people have shot. So
Hmm.
do you think that is that a correct approach, or shall I not see those?
Yeah.
It depends on person to person because not everybody. See, the problem with you seeing a place and going is like your mind will already have a preconceived notion. Okay, if I create like the same thing which I did, like he did, I'll also get a good picture. But you have to bring your own touch to it.
Mhm.
Even if you create somebody else's pictures, but don't blatantly copy because it doesn't take you. It's not going to take you anywhere. Someday you get caught.
Yeah.
Because if it's already created, somebody has already made it before. There's no sense making it. Probably you'll have better lighting or something. Probably something had a touch to it
Yeah.
because every place has different charm at different timings. Or like find out what makes it different for you. Find out your style and go with it. Doesn't matter like somebody has already created it. It's okay, but add your touch to it.
Uh, so we have another question, and it says, "I am from South. Can you elaborate your experience in Nizhal Nizhalattam? I don't know how to pronounce that." Uh,
Nizalatam.
yes,
Okay,
I
see,
got to know about from the
yeah,
bio.
I don't have much experience in nail art. I have shared my picture. I think it's been more than 4 or 5 years. I sent a picture to them and they published it in their exhibition. I could not personally see it because I think I was working that time. I think it's more than 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So I don't have much experience to say about that.
Uh, all right. That is all the question that we can take today because we are running on a clock. Uh,
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for giving your time. Would you like to add any closing advice for our budding photographers?
Just shoot every day. Shoot every day. Take up a challenge. Enjoy the shooting.
Yeah.
Don't think as if you are shooting for somebody else. Shoot for yourself.
Yeah.
Just do it. Enjoy it. Enjoy whatever you're doing. That's what I can say.
That is great, sir. So thank you so much for joining us today. It's been really great.
Thank you
Uh,
so much,
Also,
everyone, for
sir,
having me here.
Instagram handle would be in the YouTube description, and we'll also be releasing a feedback form. Do fill that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone. See you guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Guys, if anybody is here, how was the session? You can just tell us right now or just fill in the feedback form. Of course, this video will be recorded and you will be given the live stream of it. Thank you so much, guys. We have few more sessions coming up, so stay tuned. Uh, so I'll be ending this meeting now. You guys can leave.